Hello, welcome to Light of Lotus. And before we get into anything, if you're new, the first thing we do is say our daily affirmations. So let's get straight into it. Close your eyes and repeat after me. Out of sight, out of mind. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. There's no thought that could render up what's already present. Nothing interrupts this natural feeling of being. Gotta repeat that one, I felt it. Nothing interrupts this natural presence of being. My life is good, I just have to do the work. My life is good, I said I just have to do the work. Every piece of me is necessary. I am giving me permission to cater to every physical, mental, and emotional piece of me. I said I am giving me permission to cater to every physical, mental, and emotional piece of me. I am blessed. So you guys know we usually start out with affirmations that begin with I am, but I thought I would switch it up today. Still same intention, and intention is everything, so it's okay. Still same intention. Basically, those affirmations are stating that basically the first one, out of sight, out of mind. You can't control everything. If it's not something that's bothering you, something that's physically harming you, something that's bringing you down, don't stress over it because you can't do anything about it. And secondly, the second half of those affirmations were simply stating that it's okay to have feelings, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to just have real life emotions because we do, as humans, we do. And as spiritual beings, it is our duty to control those. So like I said, if you can't control it, out of sight, out of mind, and that's something I'm still working on, so forgive me. And I hope you guys enjoy my background music. I decided to try something new since I'm in the comfort of my own home today. It's a little gloomy outside, so I didn't want to record a video outdoors. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get straight into what you guys came here for. First thing, soul ties are very real. Most people don't even know they experience soul ties simply because it's like a spiritual attachment that you create with something else, whether it's something or someone else that's good for you or bad for you. For example, this is very general, not coming for anybody, but most times people are in toxic relationships. Like myself, I used to be in a toxic relationship, and sometimes we may not have realized it because we were so in love, or our mind was telling us that we were so in love, or our heart was telling us that we were so in love, we don't want to let go because we love each other. But love is not it, it takes a lot more than love, and toxicity is not it. So like I was saying, you could be attached to something good or something bad. Necessarily, you could be attached to anything, and that something could be bringing you down or lifting you up. Soul ties are very real, and that's why when it comes to sex, it's very important to, save yourself for the right person. For example, I'm just gonna give a basic example. There was a girl, she was dating a guy, or let's not say she was dating, let's say there's a girl, she was with a guy, talking, they just not meeting, whatever, and they just getting closer and bonding, and he's just opening up to her, she's opening up to him, and it's just everything and more and beautiful. And let's say 3 weeks later, she finds out he has a girlfriend. She finds out that he's been lying to her from the beginning. And so she's kind of broken, They wasn't talking for that long, but it's like a bond that they built together, spiritual attachment. They were, doing things of the sexual nature. They were doing things of the physical nature, mental nature, verbal nature. They were doing everything because they were building a bond together. They were building a spiritual bond. Now, although the man had another girlfriend, or he had a girlfriend and a side girlfriend, he was committed to both of them. He was giving all his energy to her and all his energy to her. So, back to the story. When the girl found out he had another girlfriend, she decided to pull herself away from him, or at least try to. But he was still attached to her. Although he had another girlfriend that he claimed to be in love with, he built this other bond with this other girl. Now he claimed to love her or have love for her. So he's just giving out all this love, and connecting to these different beings that have no clue of each other, And some people do be in monogamous relationships and all that jazz. However, he wasn't in a monogamous relationship and they don't know of each other. So that wouldn't be something like bringing in more love and peace. It's just like bringing in more anger, hurt, pain, etc. So back to the point, the girl's trying to leave him alone, but she's so attached to him and he's so attached to her, so she just keep pulling herself in, and he's giving himself 50% to her, 50% to her, 10% to her, 3% to her, 5% to her. He's just draining himself. So that being said, he's creating a soul tie with both of them. As you see, she cannot let him go. She's too deep into it with him, although she knows now that he has a girlfriend. She just can't let him go. He tells her that he has a girlfriend. She knows he has a girlfriend. They both know the whole situation is wrong, but he somehow cannot let go of her. His girlfriend, not aware of anything, she loves her man. She's in love with her man. She's not letting go of him. She thinks he's the perfect man. Does that make sense? Basically, some big old love triangle going on that, it's only going to end badly, if that makes sense. It's only going to end one way. The girlfriend's going to find out. Now he's going to end up without her, maybe without her too. She's going to realize her worth. She's going to leave him, But, moral of the story, they're all attached because of the soul tie. Now, transference of energy. Let's see. You hang out with your friends all day. You hang out with your family. You hang out with your significant other. You hang out, or you be around your professors. You be around your co-workers, your bosses, etc. And the type of mental intention and energy that those people have is lingering onto you. The type of mental intention and energy you have is lingering onto them. For example, let's just give an example. I was at work, right? And my coworker cussed at me, and whatever he was thinking, whatever his intentions were, I don't know, but all his negative energy came onto me, and I cussed back at him. When in general, I'm a pretty neutral, realistic, peaceful, positive person. At least I try to be. So it's like, I could have not took that energy. I could have not got his energy. I could have literally just ignored him and been the good person I've been and be like, okay, that's how you feel, okay. I can't do anything about that. But no, I stooped down to his level. And we transfer energy in the same environment. His negative thoughts reflect onto me, so I pushed out more negative thoughts instead of pushing more positive thoughts onto him. That's one example. Another example is sex. Back to the soul ties and bonds and connection. So sex is a big transference of energy. Basically, let's say let's just say you having sex with somebody, a girlfriend and a boyfriend. The boyfriend always has a negative mindset and the girlfriend's always thinking positive. They live together. When they have sex, his negative energy is transferring onto her. When they have sex, his mental everything, mental energy, mental capacity, everything inside of him, emotional vulnerability is transforming onto her, and hers onto him. So she's picking up the pain from him, he's picking up the fear from her, or they're picking up the love from each other that they've created together, if that makes sense. So that's the sexual energy transferences. Another example is environmental. Just growing up in a negative household, just growing up in a household with no support, with no love. You know, basically, let's say a son growing up without his father, him growing up around his mother, she's not able to teach him everything that he needs to know. Maybe she teaches him that it's okay to, you know, hit females or something, anything, whatever he learns in this house, he grows up doing that same thing. So if he see his mom get beat growing up in the house with no father, with his stepfather or something, then he'll think it's okay to put his hands on females, you know? If he grow up in a house where people do illegal drugs all day, he'll grow up in that type of environment. He'll push that out. Maybe he'll think it's okay to do those type of drugs around his kids because he went through that. Or it could be like reverse psychology, you know. He could see all the things that he went through and try to be the best to do the opposite for his future life, if that makes sense. It's kind of where I am with life. Just growing up, experiencing a lot of things, not experiencing a lot of things, missing out on a lot of things, doing a lot of things some people didn't get to do, you know. It just makes me think about my future and how I'm going to flip it, you know. I'm a product of my environment, but my kids will not be products of their environment, and I'm trying to grow out of being a product of my environment because I didn't come from the best environment either. A lot of energy transferred to me. It almost broke me down a few times, but here I am today, better than ever. But yeah, basically that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Just be careful who you hang around, who you entertain, who you react to, who you be rude to. Just always try to spread love and peace and positivity at all times. I know that sounds typical, easier said than done, but just remember, when you're going through something and you have no control over it, just take a second, stop, and breathe, literally. Just remember that it's out of sight, out of mind. You have no control over it. It's not physically, mentally, or emotionally harming you. And if it's emotionally harming you, just try to toughen up a little bit. Of course, you have the validation to have feelings and express your own feelings, but don't wear your feelings on your sleeve. I'm a Pisces, very emotionally unstable, crazy, but passionate. I'm very emotional, but I'm working on it. As you guys can see, my tattoo on my back or my neck says, out of sight, out of mind. I got this when I was leaving my old town before I moved out here, and I'm really trying to live by it. Of course, it's back here, I can't see it, but that's the point. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't let it stress you. And always remember, stay grateful, stay thankful, stay blessed.